China does not put in Bustle projects in Africa and is help the mainland construct its infrastructure facilities, CEO Xi Jinping has told. He incorporated an additional $60 bn, £42 bn, for the mainland's growth, as he outdoor a summit conference in African leaders in Beijing to increase relations. China is the solitary greatest duplex financer of infrastructure facilities in Africa. But critics alert how African nations include bin departure in unstable levels of obligation in the Asiatic gigantic. Mr. Xi acknowledged there was a requirement to see at the business vitality of several projects and do company operation more than sustainable. China's company operation in Africa is obviously aimed at the main bottlenecks to growth, he said industry leaders front of the discovery of the couple-day summit conference. Asset for our company operation are not to be consumable on any Bustle projects but in places wherever they calculate the largest. Southward Africa's CEO Cyril Ramaphosa welcomed China's increasing participation on the mainland. Proverb he did not accept how a brand new colonization is take conduct in Africa as our enemy would include us trust. All African nations are provided at the summit conference, besides for the diminutive realm of Eswatini, before named as Swaziland. It is the just African country to support tactful bonds in Taiwan. China's by the government does not enable countries to include formal bonds in both of himself and Taiwan, that Beijing considers its own area. Address leaders in Beijing's large room of the human beings, Mr. Xi told the $60 bn would be done up of both of aid and loans. It would be consumable on 8 initiatives above the following 3-year, consisting house more than infrastructure facilities and giver scholarships to youthful Africans, he told. China's invest in Africa comes in no policy strings assigned, Mr. Xi added. The $60 bn collateral is above and over the $60 bn China proposed to Africa at a such summit conference in 2015 in Southward Africa's major town, Johannesburg. Obligation of China's concern-free loans, due by the end of 2018, would be spelled off for several impoverished African states, Mr. Xi told. China would as well set up a World and Safety Foundation and would go on to ensure complementary war aid to the African Association, he added. China great lent about $125 bn to Africa among 2000 and 2016, onto information drawn up by the China-Africa Study Lead at Washington's Johns Hopkins College High School of Progressive World Teaching. It has consumable hard on roads, railway, ports and some main infrastructure facilities projects. The includes a rail link among Kenya's Equity, Nairobi and the seaport town of Mombasa. It is imaginary to ultimately communicate landlocked southward Sudan, Eastmore Democratic Republic of Congo, Rwanda, Burundi and Ethiopia to the Hindu Sea. But the draft has been spoiled by corrupt practices concoction, and claims by economists how the price was too top. It ran up a losing of on $100 meter in its at first year of transactions, formal figures show.